What's good, y'all? So in this video, I'm going to react to Omizi. Do not take advice from this guy about being a man. Who is he? Whatever. I'm sorry. I was analyzing everything that was going on. But 3:53 a.m. Why are you awake? Whatever. Let's just get into it. What I realized with these, like, first of all, no one's doing that. No, don't do that. Okay, get your sleep. Okay, get your 8 hours. And wake up at a normal people time. But these videos that these people be doing be taking a lot of effort. They have to move the camera every time. And if you, like, he was just putting on the toothpaste on the toothbrush, bro really had to angle the camera so that he could do it. They got like these stand cameras where you can put it in it, like, you feel me? That's a lot of work. And then he had to put the camera outside, go out, like, in, and then act like he was coming back out. It's too much. And then he has to move it to wherever he's going to go next. It's a lot of work that I will not be ever doing.
What the hell is this?
So we're going to be serious about the Lord's business.
What is he drinking? Is that just water? Sparkling water? Because if you tell me bro is drinking, is he on steroids? What the fuck is going on? I know you fucking lying. If y'all don't go to the bathroom and wash your face, he ain't shit. He's trolling. He's trolling. Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way, bro. 5:47? When do you sleep?
Okay. I don't know how realistic this is. Aquaman? Is that what we're looking at right now? Alright, I've had enough. I've seen everything that I need to see. Now, I thought I had a ridiculous morning routine.
Wait, did somebody bring him that shit? Why did he wipe it on his face? Whatever. And I have a fantastic skin routine, so don't ever. Okay, I just did my self-care day. I did a honey mask. I do everything naturally. So I did a honey, like water and honey, put it on my face, and I dermaplaned it. I know people like that's controversial. Like people like you need the hair on your face, whatever. Um, but anyway, it's silky smooth. Understand that silky. Then I did a lip scrub I made from olive oil, honey, and brown sugar. Yeah, so I understand using like natural things to like just depending on your sensitivity. I'm really into like skincare though. Like I would if I had money to like put in to like a business of like organic skincare, I would love that. But I have to go to my job to make what I need to live, unfortunately. So I understand using natural things for, skincare, especially if you don't want to use harsh chemicals or you're scared of what's in these products or whatever. I definitely understand that, but I need to maybe he knows something I don't. What was in the banana peel?
Everything that I need to see. Now, I thought I had a ridiculous morning routine when I showered first and then pooped, but this guy takes the cake. Super duper, and I mean mega viral content
Showered
creator
and then
Ashton
pooped
Hall
is
went viral
crazy.
over this past couple of days because he has one of the most outrageous morning routines on a day-to-day basis. The last time I checked this page, he said he had like 8 billion views based off of doing this type of content, and that's total, of course, but there has to be some legitimacy to what he's doing because every single platform, we're talking hundreds of millions of views on just his content. There's a few things about Ash that are driving
Okay.
people to him. One, he has a ridiculous morning routine. I mean, most of his morning routine seemingly is wasted. If I'm being 100% honest with you, there's like a whole gap between like 4 o'clock when he wakes up and 6 o'clock when he actually goes to the gym where he does virtually nothing and nobody's talking about it. It looks like he did some scrolling and maybe some note taking, but I promise you, you don't need 2 hours to do that. Get up and go to the gym, buddy. Another thing is the constant bowl of water dip. The face bowl of water dip that I've seen in the past couple of days has totally taken me out.
So looking at it, bro,
Between that, the banana peel on the face, or having these guys follow you around and record you in probably the most ridiculous and inefficient ways, I think a lot of this lifestyle content is over exaggerated. Hell, he even fake dropped one of the water bottles to make himself seem more realistic, but the camera angles that he got for the dropped water bottle let us know that it's unrealistic. It's the most maddening thing in the world. So many variants of this guy has popped up, and I don't blame him because a lot of them are gaining some sort of traction. There's a lot of content out there right now that is depicting this successful lifestyle, and specifically the successful lifestyle of a man. Now, for the most part, it is positive.
You
We
said
know what male
429,
representation on the
415.
internet looks like. It has a pretty bad stigma, but it does have me questioning and wondering, why the hell are so many people so interested in this lifestyle? I know extreme versions of things are always attractive, but it's amazing to me how super viral these contents go, where people are doing just the most outrageous things in the world, and people tie them to masculinity to the point where even people are willing to pay thousands, and I mean thousands of dollars, to get involved in different courses, workshops, and boot camps to show you how to really become a man.
No junk food, no women, no parties, and no alcohol. This place banned everything that is not making men grow. It's an exclusive venue hidden in the mountains of Bali that is perfect for the guys who want a place to focus 100% on their goals without distractions. It has a
You know, I'm not even opposed to it. You know what? Do what you do. Okay? It's you know, that seems, you know, if I guess if you have the funds to take off work and go to a retreat for months on end, and this is what you want to do, cool. As long as it's not a cult.
any time of the day. Hundreds of successful businessmen, top-tier athletes, and self-development enthusiasts have already joined the community and completely changed their lives. But not anyone can join. To enter, you need to submit an application to prove that you are dedicated enough to be a part of the community. Would you come here?
Going to grown man summer camp, and more importantly, paying $8,000 to $10,000 in
Oh no,
order
you're
to determine
tweaked.
what
But I mean, if you, like I said, if you love it, I like it.
and thought he would have to go about validating his masculinity. But we are in 2025. We are in an era where people need to make money, and we are in an era where honestly it's being questioned on a day-to-day basis. And what's crazy is the people who are pushing these things are sowing the seeds of division more and more when it comes to what is and is not masculinity than anything, in my opinion. But we're now at the point where we have content creators that are analyzing and over analyzing every single step you make, down to the point of how you hold a briefcase in a business
I
interview, or how
reacted
you
to
pull
that
out a
video, by
chair
the
in a
way.
business interview separates you from being a weak man to a masculine man.
Reels fitness content creator that teaches people how to convey a strong presence while doing mundane activities like pulling up a chair to a table.
Most of you will be leaning over the chair.
I don't know why he says most of you here, because I don't think I've pulled up a chair like that in my entire life.
Make that chair serve you.
Apparently this is useful information, and he calls this knowledge body kinetics.
Just unrealistic, performative, and honestly lacking no substance. And then of course on the far end of the spectrum, you have the red pill community, who definitely has done its fair share of damage that we don't have to talk about right now. The reason why this content exists in 2025 and is literally thriving and doing as well as it is because there has been this growing sentiment that there is some sort of void when it comes to the masculinity space. I mean, people have been looking for content creators, words of advice, self-help, etc., etc. But especially when it comes to manhood, literally, as Anthony Mackie would say, manhood is under attack. Masculinity is under attack.
I keep my boys humble. Like, my boys have never had a pair of Jordans. You know, my boys don't do all that internet fly shit. I'm like your kids. I could be the biggest star in the world. Do not let me catch you being stupid. In the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our community. But I raised my boys to be young men. My boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open a door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night, this alarm is on, you text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up. Because we're men. Because you can have all the money in the world, climb through the window, that money means nothing.
The non-existent burglar. Right, that's the way. Anthony Mackie got a lot of hate for his comments, and I do think some people jumped out of the gun. Now, I won't be addressing any of the dog whistles and stuff like that. That's not me, that's not my life, and that's not my platform to speak on, but I will address the masculinity portion of it. Now, I was raised on some of those very same principles, no shoes over $100, lock up the house, text, etc., take the trash out, be polite, blase, blase, blah. But also, my mom was born before Martin Luther King got assassinated, so I would assume her to have some of those ideals and principles. I think when we even talk about masculinity, it's always tied to the most surface level things. Like outside of the content that Ashton Hall was putting out or any of the other lifestyle content creators, because we know that they're trying to exaggerate for clicks and views. Every time we talk about masculinity, it's tied to this specific moment where some murderous person or some pew pew man
Yeah. I do agree. I do agree. I'm not gonna lie, because when I think about certain things, and again, this is the thing is that everything, when people realize that things are tied to somebody's perspective, what you believe to be a man versus what I believe to be a man versus what the next man believes to be a man, everything's different. It's all perspective. So when we're like, well, they need to be taught to be, what, that just literally depends on what the parent believes is that, and that's what they're going to teach. Same thing with a woman. You feel me? People people just say things, and I'm just like, do we realize that that's not realistic? Like, everybody's mindset isn't the same, so they're going to teach different things. And some people learn by absent parents, where they're just like, well, I'm gonna be everything that he wasn't, or toxic parents, or whatever the case may be. Um, And for me, I think that something that is very important, like, yeah, all of these things are, being protective, and, being responsible and being polite manners, all of that is great. But something that seems to be neglected with a lot of men is being in control of your emotions. Like, you don't have to, you might feel very stressed out and everything when you have all this weight on you from maybe being a provider, or having to be on guard of when something happens, it's on you. So being able to process your emotions and handle your emotions effectively, being able to cry is there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like there's just like the stigma around things. And so my definition of what I feel like a man should be, I feel like you should be able to manage all your emotions. That's why all that alpha male yelling shit is not manly to me at all. It makes you a bitch. You can't sit around and just like contain yourself. You got to be yelling at women and men. You just disrespectful as fuck. Like, I don't find that at all masculine. So I think of these things that they're talking about as being masculine or whatever. But I also, like I said, there's a whole nother side to it. How to pay attention to yourself and your emotions, and I feel like you'll be a happier person, which will in turn make you, um, fulfill whatever roles you feel are fit for you to feel. Okay, I feel like that plays into you being a good partner, to whoever you're romantically interested in. Is if you don't feel a bunch of resentment for the role that somebody put on you, and you feel like, okay, like, you know how to listen to somebody when they're venting, or you know how to pay attention to somebody's feelings when they are upset, and validate them and communicate and all these things. And that doesn't seem to be taught for some reason when we're thinking about these traditional roles or whatever. And I just don't understand that. So when I have a child, whichever way, I'm just going to make sure that, or I'm going to try my best to be as well rounded as possible, and not try to dictate these specific roles or whatever. Like, that's just me though. But and people will be quick to say, you're a girl, you don't know what you talk about. How do you know how a man should be? Whatever. Okay. I know
your
what kind of
door
man I
tries to
want.
burglarize you and a
The
family, and you have to
fuck?
step up. And that moment right there is the moment that validates your potential masculine vibes. You have to be ready when that shows its head, because if you're not a man. Saying yes sir, no sir, having good manners makes you a man. I don't know, the correct posture makes you a man. Being humble by depriving your kids of the things that make kids cool, or the things that people talk, that's what makes you a man.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
think this is
Everybody's
a
perception is
tough way to
different
talk
and
about it.
whatever.
And then they always talk about the provide piece as well from a financial aspect. But the crazy part about it is those things don't happen anymore. That man doesn't come into your house, doesn't happen. We're not on the Oregon Trail. Sure, I'm not saying that you haven't gotten into a fight at a bar before and you had to defend your woman's honor, but that's because you got drunk in college and so you had to step in for some mess that you made. Being a man would probably say, handle your liquor better in public, or don't take your woman to be in situations like that, But those are fringe situations. And even to the conversation about providing, the way that the economy is set up right now, capitalism being capitalized, both of y'all are going to have to provide in order for it to thrive. So I've seen the conversation of the perpetuated, oh, well, I have to be the breadwinner, et cetera, et cetera. Look, just be happy that you live in a household that has 2 thriving incomes. That's the goal, honestly. And I do think that there are some actual healthy conversations to be had about the death of masculinity or masculinity being under attack. There's potentially some systemic things that we could talk about in those regards, but it's always left at that surface level conversation about the aesthetics. What happens when, your wife is on the side of the road and a car splashes some water on her? Do you catch it with a jacket, or do you hold the door for 18 grandmas in a row? It's always something overly exaggerated. And then when men express themselves in different ways, people also see that as traditional masculinity being under attack. One of the biggest talking points about this is fashion and how fashion has changed for men. See, back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, wearing anything besides your Wrangler or Lee or Levi jeans, a button-down work shirt.
But what the fuck did Prince wear and all them mofos that were probably the biggest hoes ever? Like, fashion change, like, it's just stupid ass conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? Who cares? Like I said, if you like it, I love it. If you want to walk around in a dress, do what you do. You feel me? That don't have nothing to do with me. Okay? Unless I am romantically involved with anybody, I don't think my opinion really fucking matters. At the end of the day, I can do these reaction videos and say everything I feel. Does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? No. It's not gonna change nothing, to be real.
Fashion trends have really pushed the boundaries as to what masculinity is. We're talking about things like earrings or hair being a different texture or a different color, or
Pharrell
worse
is
yet,
him.
nail
Listen.
polish.
So show
And
us
so
the
was
nails.
ASAP.
Don't get a close up of my nails.
No.
Right now. Listen, I've been on the road. I'm gonna do like this.
But we see a pop of color.
Yeah.
What was the impetus for it?
Expression.
Expression.
Yeah, expression. I'm creative. I'm expressive. And there's so many ways to do that.
Your nails look better than mine.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
They do.
Don't do that.
Between that and the thousands, and I mean thousands of gay people that you see on TV doing things like, kissing or holding hands or just living their regular life, the internet truly believes that masculinity is under attack. Now, I rebuke like 99.9% of these conversations, because ultimately when we do talk about what masculinity is, it's just somebody who is a man living a specific different life. Like, a gay man is still a man. A man who paints his nails is still a man. A man
And I don't know,
wears a
personally, I feel like if you're expressing yourself, I don't care what you're doing. If you're happy, I'm happy. Well, if you're expressing yourself through, you feel me, painting your nails, I'm happy for you. Like, what? Why would that make me that mad? If you're expressing yourself by sending people to God or something, I don't know. That's different. I don't support that. But people would be like, oh, he's so tough. He's a thug and stuff like that. Like, so manly shit or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
is still a man. It
It's
doesn't
so
make him
harmless.
less
It's
of a
harmless.
man, especially because I don't understand how the sliding scale generally works. Like, if you are more of a provider on this end, but then you wear a dangly earring on this end, shouldn't it balance out on the masculine scale? Or do you have to be 100% of the depiction that you saw when you grew up to be some sort of man? And even what is that picture?
And some of
Why
them
are we
mofos be
questioning it so
DL
much in
whole
today's
time.
day and age?
And it's a cultural problem because men are very confused. You have to see who you are and see the virtue in it and see the power in that. I didn't have that confusion when I was growing up, so now These things that you feel naturally are negative. They're only negative if you can't control them.
The negativity that he's talking about is the growing anti-male sentiment that exists not only on the internet, but that's creeping over into the mainstream media. Picture this, you're a young man living your life in Idaho of all places, and you were growing up feeling the natural feelings, you know, protector, provider. Somebody came through the house, I got you, honey, type feelings. You wanna get married, you wanna settle down, you wanna have kids, you wanna grow and be successful in a job, you wanna participate in physical activities, just normal things that we would associate with being a man. But then here we are having women and other unidentified participants on the internet questioning what a man is, why men do this, is this a bad part about being a man, to the point where it's attacking everything that you wanted to do in life. There's tweets out there talking about, I've never met a woman that was truly happy in marriage, or that their life improved under marriage.
Hold on, I'm gonna read it because he's not reading it. I've yet to meet a woman whose life truly improved after marriage. She won't say she's unhappy, but you can see it in the way her light fades, the way she barely exists outside of work, house chores, and childcare, all of which she mostly shoulders alone. Well, again, that's one of the things I feel like you got to talk about in your relationship when you're leading up to that point of a split of house, like you know, a split of labor, how you want to do everything. And I feel like being a single person, you get overworked and everything. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to speak on this, but I feel like a lot of conversations need to be had before you start making babies and thinking about getting married. Make sure all your stuff align, because once you get stuck, you're stuck, baby. That's it.
And that's specifically directing it to the men in this specific conversation. Like everywhere that you turn and twist, there is a conversation about why men and women shouldn't coexist, or why they're not doing the right things as a man, or what you do as a man, even if it feels right and natural, is valid. And I can understand why people feel some sort of way to those sentiments, because especially if you don't have the ability to discern what is good or bad information, what are trolls, or what are people you should ignore, it can seem like you can do no right in today's society. But what they're targeting mostly, and I mean mostly, again, there are definitely some bad actors, is toxic masculinity over anything. And again, there's extremists on both sides, but toxic masculinity has been the thing that have even hurt and ended men's lives in the past. It's the reason why your grandfather was so darn mean and angry. It's the reason why these men end up incarcerated, or, you know, end up doing gang-related activity, or all these bad things. Toxic masculinity literally ends people's lives. And so now you're to a point where you have these people trying to grasp at straws and make up new rules and try to determine and define what masculinity is, all in hopes to either A, sell their own product, or B, further divide the community.
Well, his nickname's Tampon. No real man has a nickname like that. Well, that's what it is. I'm sorry. I didn't make it up. He wants them in boys' bathrooms. Real men don't talk about how they can beat other guys up. They don't talk about how masculine they are. Maybe if you're a professional fighter, you can do that, but I don't know people that do that, and I know a lot of tough guys. Like this guy, Greg Gutfeld. I have rules for men. They're just funny. They're not that serious. Like, you don't eat soup in public. You don't cross your legs. And you don't drink from a straw. And one of the reasons you don't drink from a straw is because the way your lips purse. It's very effeminate.
That's his. Is this him saying these things? And he just is flopping wrist all over the place? Hey, listen, I'm bisexual. I don't got no problem with nobody, but I'm just saying that's just observations. It's observations.
And his excuse was, well, I was drinking a milkshake. Again, you shouldn't be drinking a milkshake. Milkshakes are for kids.
They're delicious. Yeah, having to police how people...
Do you see what I'm saying? No, y'all, this is what the problem is. What are we talking about? Let's get the weirdos out the street. Let's get everybody that's like, you feel me, really on some like devilish time out of here. And y'all talking about a grown person can't drink a milkshake, bitch. If first of all, my man want a milkshake, he getting a milkshake, smoothie, ice cream sundae, whatever he want, he get it. What the fuck? Y'all are weird. Girls don't care. I swear it be. I'm not gonna lie. There are women that are like real like nitpicky. Oh, he can't order dessert. That's so feminine. Like, bitch, bye. Okay, but all these little things. I promise you, we don't give a fuck. A milkshake, bitch. Drink it out of a straw.
Is some sort of way to go about, you know, seeing who is more masculine or not. it's exhausting being a man sometimes. And because I have a 20% woman audience, please, ladies, I want you to know these are the real plights that young men are going through. And if they are not secure or don't have the right role models in their lives, they will fall for these traps
But
and go down.
honestly, this is why I feel like the people that feel all insecure because they just got told they can't drink a milkshake and watch anime and play video games and stuff, or else they're bitches. They get online and say, just start going in on women. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I really feel like it's misdirected anger. It's a lot of weird shit talking about this person not even bad, this person not even like they not even they're chopped. They're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be like that kind of stuff, and I'd be like looking like, is everything okay in the world? It's not. But I'm just saying, like, what is actually going on? Why is everyone so upset?
And then simping and then red pill and then simping, this perpetual cycle that continues to go on until honestly somebody snaps them out of it. I think young men in 2025 though have decided that this is not the life that I want to live. This is too much examination. This is too much hard work. I mean, hell, Anthony Mackie literally talked about how his 15-year-old had the burden of the responsibility of not only just locking up a house, which is a small task, like that's a minute thing, but the fact that I now have to bear the burden of, if somebody jumps into my house, I'm the one to defend them.
And
Me, my
yeah,
15-year-old.
and I definitely don't think that's okay. I'm gonna stop you here though, because I have been talking a lot. But no, I don't think that's okay. I feel like I think that it's very important to woman or man know how to protect yourself, of course, and protect the ones around you. I also feel like you should be able to be a child. I don't want you to feel like at any point I gotta personally. I wouldn't want my 15-year-old to be concerned if something happens, they have to protect me because that's not it. I don't care, man, woman, whatever. Thing. I do the protecting now, bitch. If you're homie, home girl, whatever, brother, sister, mother, and something's wrong, they know who to call to get something handled. They know that if they don't want me to start tweaking, they should not get on the phone. They should not call me because I'm gonna take it there. I'm gonna take it to 100 real quick. They did what to who? What did who did what to who? I don't handle stuff correctly. I don't handle stuff correctly. Um. So yeah, I don't know. It's just too many rules. Like, do what you like. I guess those are your kids. Raise them how you want. But that's not something I would do, and it is what it is. But anyhow, yeah. So this is what's going on in the world. Sometimes y'all just put your phones down and go outside and experience the air. Get off the phone. Stop looking at this. You can't drink milkshake talk. With floppy wrist. Just ignore it. Personally, but anyways, y'all tell me what you think about everything. Y'all come subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see y'all in the next one.